Actually, that was going to be the first thing I asked. Is I see a lot of fingerstyle players, and obviously they've got the finger picks, and you're the first one that I've seen who just tapes them to their hand.
Yeah, I made my fake nails out of acrylic.
Yeah.
And I just taped them on. You know, I did acrylic nails for years, but they're so fragile. You know, you break them and then you're screwed. But these, they don't break.
Yeah.
I make them out of acrylic, and I can hit as hard as I want, and I don't feel a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're Wolverine-esque.
Yeah.
At this point. So yeah, this is your second time here in the last year and a bit.
Yeah.
I was ironically, I was on Salt Spring last time you were playing here, so I wasn't here to shoot that one, but
yeah, right.
And but yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. A lot of the shows when I come back or go on vacation or whatever, and I go to edit, and I'm like, all right, this is fun or whatever. And then this one, obviously, you know, the music's entertaining and fun to watch, but it was the in-between bits and the jokes in between that always
try to distract them from the music.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you got to keep them on their toes.
Yeah, I had a past as a comedian. I worked many years ago with my brother. We had a comedy show in Europe, and we were also jugglers and magicians, and we had a stint in a Circus Atlas, for 6 months in Germany.
Oh wow!
And so I've always put a high value on comedy, and I think it kind of balances out. If you're going to sing about deeper things, death and love and life, you want to counterbalance that with some sort of soft, warm moments.
Yeah, the yin and yang.
And some people would say that they get to know the artist by the words they speak between songs too. You know, it's kind of reveals something of themselves. So.
I mean, it definitely adds a level of culpability, or rather, you can relate to them more.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Now, this monstrosity of, how many strings are on that?
20 strings.
Okay, why not 21?
Yeah. You know, it's funny because there was only 19, but I just added another one last year, a lower one, because I felt it didn't have enough bottom end. So now it has that nice low drone, you know, and that filled out the whole spectrum of sound. Prior to that, it was a bit more treble-y, and this has really changed everything, just adding that extra string.
It's funny, two weeks ago, we had a band called the Langan Band. This three-piece Scottish folk. The guitar player and the singer, John, he play a 12-string guitar that he has taken half the strings off.
You know, you try to step out. I mean, so much has been done so well on the guitar that you really want to separate yourself from the herd somehow, you know. I realized when I started to play this that it was one of a kind of thing, you know, so I pursued it with that in mind, that it might help me, you know, gain a foothold in the music industry, and it really has. It's become my calling card. I stepped away from, I originally started playing Indian classical on it, which I studied like 5 years. But, you know, in the end, I'm a mediocre classical player, because there's, you know, it's in their blood, Indians, and they get it from when they're kids. So what I was doing was a sort of a thin interpretation of that. So I realized my strength was in taking the flavor of the music and adding it to blues and other things that I create. And now I sort of charted my own path with that. You can't plan these things, you know, they unfold.
Nobody's going to be in their bedroom at 16 going, this is what I'm going to do. It's a lot of happy accidents on the way.
Though I have a lot of guys that contact me or want to have one of these, or they get one and they're trying to figure out how to play it. And it's not easy, because you want to learn how to play the music. Anyone can play the instrument, like as a dobro or whatever style, you know, but to play the music, that's where you really need to go with this instrument, and then it starts to really open up.
Well, yeah, and then if one string breaks, then you have to relearn the entire thing to go, well, how do we put it back together? No, it's definitely an interesting fusion of so many different styles, and none of them sticking out or overbearing the other. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to hear you play. And then you whip out the banjo just to keep them off their feet. I do love your joke of the, yeah, I got stickers on it, so it goes faster now.
Yeah.